they passed it to basically CR.
Can I just set the table first before you say this? For years, it was the Republicans who threatened to shut down the government when the government, and they did sometimes. Now it's the reverse. The Democrats, the reason why this is an issue is because some people in the Democratic Party are saying this is the only leverage we have against the president and the Congress, which is on his head. This is the only thing we can do is shut down the government, which is ironic a little because, again, they were always for not doing it.
Bill Maher welcomes Senator Joe Manchin, an awakened idiot, to his show, Real Time with Bill Maher. And Bill Maher feels obligated to educate Joe Manchin and his fellow guest, Alex Wagner, about the concept of identity politics. Bill Maher feels obligated to educate these people because they appear to be clueless, unable to understand how bad identity politics for Democrats has gotten. And, of course, when Bill Maher states it this way, they are forced to face reality and admit that identity politics are terrible. Not only for the country, but also for the Democratic Party, if it ever hopes to win again. Let's watch this video of Bill Maher putting Joe Manchin and Alex Wagner in their place on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Circulated a list of 45 words, I read this, and phrases that they want Democrats to avoid using, including privilege, microaggression, unhoused person. Is this good advice for the party?
Not at all. Let the person be who they are. Now, there's not a voter out there that can't tell you, I believe, if you're real or not real. And I've always said in West Virginia, growing up, people could shake your hand, look in your eyes, and see your soul. It's all they had. If you are who you are, they'll know it. If you're in it for the right reason, they'll know it. And if you've got to basically explain to them that you're maybe not radicalized or a complete different far left that they don't understand. You know, the Democratic Party's lost 160,000 registered Democrats since this November election. If they think the country's going more left, why is the Democrats losing their own people? They've got to come back to center. Center left, center right's where you run the country. And all these types of things are saying, oh, this makes this person non-electable, or basically it drives people away from the party. The thing that drives them away is we're not getting the character and the quality of the person we used to get.
But I think the point here was that...
That's the truth. Of course, they'll talk like that in front of Bill Maher, who will call them out. However, the identity politics issue is huge. I've long maintained that if Democrats are going to listen to Bill Maher, they should listen to Cenk. As much as I loathe the guy, he's correct about the Democrats and their winning approach, right? Their path to triumph. He's correct about it. And a Casperarian. They are all correct about it. All they have to do is communicate what is popular with the public. Because, let us be honest, many right-wingers are Christian. You are aware that many of them hold ideas unrelated to U.S. politics, correct? They have a reason to believe what they think. The left only believes in what will help them win. They do not have any true principles. They lack morals. They just want to win, correct? That's all they have. That is their only principle. So, why not stand out and fight for the things that will help you succeed? I assure you that this is not identity politics, policing, or speech, as Bill Maher claims. That is not the path for Democrats to triumph. I don't want them to win, but they won't win if they keep pushing this.
Are connected to ideas that people...
I was asked, I got to tell you this, I couldn't even believe it. Now, I come from West Virginia, okay, and it's a wonderful, beautiful state with great people. I'm getting interviewed at one of the college campuses, and the beautiful young person who did that, they says, now, how do you want to be addressed? I says, I'm Joe Manchin. And he says, no, he or it, or I says,
what are your pronouns?
And I said, what are your pronouns? I said,
it is not one of them, but yes.
They. She gave me that option.
They.
She gave me that option.
She didn't say yet. She said they. You want to be they. And
I wanted to be Joe.
Right.
And I kept saying Joe. And she had a hard time with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, maybe because you wanted to be senator, yeah.
Never to make big changes in life.
The interview didn't go that well after that.
Okay, all right. Is the government...
And it's bad when someone like Joe Manchin criticizes you for simply being really woke, you know? And look, these Democrats, and politicians in general, are complete chameleons, right? They will appear on a left-wing show and declare, oh, absolutely, any politics. Like, it's not so bad, look how inclusive this person is by asking how I want to be called and all that. And then they'll go on Bill Maher, and he'll call them out on their BS, so they'll start saying stuff like that and acting completely differently, you know? So, You know, respect to Bill Maher for always standing firm and correcting people when they are completely inaccurate. And you have to respect it.
That's serious.
It's ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
I'm going to say it's not. I think there's enough Democrats that'll work with Republicans not to shut it down. They're just not talking. This whole thing's blown apart, and this. They said we're going to use this and wedge this or wedge that. If you vote to shut down, you're basically telling the American people, I can't do my job.
And what's funny,
I can't do my job.
Who runs the legislative branch? The Republican Party.
Yes.
The idea the Democrats need. I understand there can be a political cost.
The Senate or the Congress?
Listen.
House.
It's
the Senate.
That's going to go to the Senate. It passed the House.
It passed the House, but the Senate is basically.
What passed the House? The shutdown?
Well, they will. That's not a problem.
The CR is going to pass.
No, they passed it to basically CR.
They passed the CR in the
Can I just
House.
set the table first before you say this? For years, it was the Republicans who threatened to shut down the government when the government, and they did sometimes. Now it's the reverse. The Democrats, the reason why this is an issue is because some people in the Democratic Party are saying this is the only leverage we have against the president and the Congress, which is on his head. This is the only thing we can do is shut down the government, which is ironic a little because, again, they were always for not doing it.
They won't even talk to each other, Bill.
I'm sorry, Alex, you finish.
There is a sense that the Democrats are up against a wall. They have nothing. This president has run roughshod against the Constitution. He does not care about bipartisanship. He doesn't care about arguably half the country. And people are saying, where the hell are the Democrats? Democrats have a series of talking points that haven't really resonated. You have a few singular Democrats who are out there fighting the good fight as joyful warriors. I'm not going to name names. But, those in the legislative branch, where are they? If this is their only lever, shouldn't they pull it?
If that's what they're concerned about, when you shut the government down, how many people are harmed by that? Down the chain. I mean, so many different ways. How you get your services.
Well, that was always their argument.
That is the argument there. And I've told them.
And does it really change it?
It doesn't
because
change.
at some point you have to go back. You have to go back.
And whoever is harmed is going to hold that against. I know when Ted Cruz shut it down one year.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out. I said, Ted, what are you proving here? We have to get back and let's get working things. And they finally did. You know who came up and made the deal with McDonald, Senator McConnell from.
This man is awful to listen to. I'm not going to lie. He's on the verge of becoming Joe Biden. You understand? He is. However, in light of what Bill Maher has said, I believe he is striving to be friendly to Democrats because he is frequently hard on them. But, as I understand it, they have their backs against the wall for a reason. It is owing to their poor rhetoric. They continue to advocate for ridiculous issues that no one cares about, such as identity politics and speech policing. That is why their backs are against the wall. This is why they have no power. And I understand the game. They are not going to lie down and regroup. They are always going to dispute over something. But damn it, dude. They are making us wait in TSA for 4 to 6 hours, and flights are being cancelled. So come on, dude. So, let's get things altered here, Let us, for once, care for the American people rather than just power, since, as I previously indicated, it is all they truly care about. Please. Let's avoid a government shutdown. I know that's probably the last thing you have, but crap, man. I'm tired of waiting for TSA for so long.
Was Joe Biden. And the Democrats got mad. He says, don't you send that Joe Biden up here anymore to make a deal.
I have a hard time
too many bills.
imagining that Chuck Schumer is going to do a redux of what he did last time, given the blowback that he got from his own party. But we'll see.
He got it from the left. He got it from the extreme left.
Well, he's a Democrat.
He has to be the leader. If he's going to be the leader, he has to stand strong. Don't punish the country for not doing your job and sitting down working with people. The whole thing about the Senate.
I don't know. What do you mean doing a redux of what he did?
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah,
Chuck Schumer kept the government open by rallying Democrats and passing
a budget.
He did the right thing.
So you think he's not going to do
But it got an extraordinary amount of blowback, and we're talking about, it's not just, let's just be clear. Yes, it is funding the government. It is also funding Trump's agenda, which there are masked agents pulling people off the streets. It's like the Handmaid's Tale down in the South. The people are looking at a country that they don't recognize. Half the people feel like this is
shutting it down is not going to change that.
I understand.
If you shut it down,
it's also significantly overblown in terms of what's going on. You are aware of the full ICE scenario. People are throwing bags over their heads. Like, come on, buddy. They are not doing that. As if it's not happening. If you actually believe that is the case, you are always online. And I don't think most of these people believe that's true. They are simply using it to strengthen their talking points. But they don't believe that. So, do the math, right? If Donald Trump is doing all he can to deport as many people as possible, but he is still nowhere near the numbers that Obama was deporting, why didn't you oppose while Obama was doing it? Because he must have been doing something crazy. If Donald Trump is going to such lengths to deport and mistreat people, consider what Barack Obama was obliged to do when no one was talking about it. So, why is it that only when Donald Trump does these things are they deemed mass crimes, despite the fact that the vast majority of these things do not occur? Occasionally, an ICE agent may behave improperly. Yes, that is something that any law enforcement agency would pursue. Will it happen? It is not. I am not claiming it is wonderful. I'm not arguing it should be tolerated. Obviously, it has to be handled. However, they behave as if this happens all the time. It simply doesn't happen. It's just not true. Let me know in the comments what you think of Bill Maher putting these fools in their place and reminding them that identity politics will not help them. It will do them serious harm. Kindly let me know. Tell me in the comments what you think about the Bill Maher versus Joe Manchin and Alex Wagner confrontation on Real Time with Bill Maher.